Official trailer to the remake of Dune.
Yeah.
Yep, so here we go.
There's something happening to me. There's something awakening in my mind. I can't control it.
What did you see?
There's a crusade coming.
Do you often dream things that happen just as you dream them?
Yes.
The test is simple. Remove your hand from the box, and you die.
What's in the box?
Pain. You inherit too much power. You have proven you can rule yourself. Now you must learn to rule others. Something none of your ancestors learned.
Oscar Isaac.
Rules an entire planet.
He's losing it.
He's getting a richer one.
He'll lose that one too. Arrakis is a death trap.
Yep, Drax.
This is an extermination.
Yeah, and what's her face from Mission Impossible
They're taking my
and Doctor
family
Sleep.
off one by one. Let's fight like demons.
Aquaman. Jason Momoa, that is.
An animal caught in a trap will gnaw off his own leg to escape. What will you do?
I know you.
Yeah, Zendaya from Spider-Man.
One day, a legend will be born.
I'm seeing Jason Momoa without a beard.
Civilization depends on it.
The future. I can see it.
Beyond fear. Destiny awaits.
I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Where the fear is gone, only I will remain. Go, go, go!
Whoa, some kind of monster or something. Or I think it could be what those creatures were, like in the written 1984 version. Yeah, a lot of familiar faces in this. Well, it looks like it's interesting.
Yep, I'll give it a watch.
So far. Yeah, give it a watch at theaters. You know.
You know, when the original version came out...
But wait a minute. Time out. Hey guys, so we had just reacted to the official trailer to the remake of Dune, and you were saying about the 1984 version?
The 1984 version I saw in the movie theaters.
Yes, you did.
It's the only time I've ever seen that movie all the way through.
Uh-huh.
I've seen it on television before. I've caught bits and pieces of it since.
Yeah, and there's even like in 2000 a miniseries.
Yeah, I can't get into it. I couldn't get into the 84 movie. It was really bizarre to me. It went really way out there for me.
Yeah,
I like science fiction, but
yeah, me
this
too.
was one of those
we both
that
love
just
science fiction.
really, I don't know.
An interesting piece of science fiction.
Well, here's
to say the least.
I knew I was in trouble when I walked in, and I took a date, by the way. This girl that I dated for several years. This was our first official date. Took her to see Dune. Had no idea. I just knew it was a big movie that was out. It looked interesting, science fiction. Ooh, yeah, we'll go see it. And as soon as we get to the box office, I'm not kidding you, I bought our tickets, and we literally walked up to the box office. We bought our tickets. They slid 2 sheets of paper through the window to us, and one for her and one for me. And on each of on both sheets, on that sheet of paper, was terms and definitions for the terms of each. And these were terms used in the movie, so you would know what they were talking about.
Oh.
This is when I knew this was not probably going to be a good situation. If I have to go to a movie and they have to give me an instruction sheet
of what's going on in the
of
film,
what's going on, and when they're saying,
if you're clueless on what's happening in the film,
if they're saying, like, if they say something, what does that mean? You refer to your term sheet. Oh, such and such means, you know, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, okay, so that's what that means.
If they say something specific, you look at the piece of sheet.
You look at the sheet, the term sheet, and it will give you the term, and it will give you the definition, the meaning of what that word is.
Yeah, I get it.
And this is how this movie was. And of course, it had Sting.
Patrick Stewart was in it.
Whom I love, Sting. He was really good. The one line I remember him, he was in a duel, and I remember him saying, "I will kill him," you know. And then Patrick Stewart was in it.
He was
course.
Wasn't he like a bad guy or something?
I can't remember Patrick Stewart in that movie. I know he was in it, but I can't remember what he played and what part he was in.
And yet, this was 2 years before he would be in Star Trek as Jean-Luc Picard.
Exactly. He was a nobody at that point. He was a nobody. Sting was a somebody. I thought, oh, cool. Sting is in this. I love Sting. I love the Police. I love Sting as an artist, and I thought this is going to be cool. Sting is in this.
But what got Sting? Like, Sting was a somebody, but what got him recognizable? Like, because I guess he became a singer or something. And
well, he was a singer. I mean, he was the lead singer for the Police, and then he went out on his own as a solo artist and was very successful. I've got a lot of his music. I love his music.
And as for Patrick Stewart, he was a nobody.
At that point, he was.
Yeah, but that was when until...
And he was a Shakespearean actor.
Yes, I was going to mention.
He acted in some things, but that was it.
Yes, I was going to mention. He did Shakespeare, and that was when Star Trek The Next Generation made him recognizable.
Right. And when I say nobody, I don't mean like he was a nobody. Nobody knew who he was at the time.
Not really. I mean, even back then, like, the British actors, etc., you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, how they got a British Shakespearean actor to play a Frenchman... who's the captain of the Enterprise is beyond me. I never understood that. Him playing a Frenchman, Jean-Luc Picard, he clearly has a British accent.
Well, then like Patrick Stewart does a good accent for Picard.
Yeah, I mean he does. He speaks in his regular accent as a British actor. He's not speaking, he's not speaking in a French accent, He's not talking like this. Like you would think a Frenchman would talk.
Yeah, if he did that.
Engage.
It's a good thing he uses a real voice.
Yeah. Warp factor 6, that kind of thing. Yeah, exactly.
I timed it good.
Yeah. Captain Picard, we're being surrounded by Romulans. Sacre bleu. That kind of thing.
Sacre bleu, c'est Borg.
Yeah, he even said British words like rubbish, and stuff like it's like French people don't say that. Now he would do a good when he would say, when Tasha Yar died and they had her memorial service on the holodeck, when he said au revoir, Lieutenant, he said it very eloquently, and he did say it with a French accent, au revoir, Lieutenant, that was good, and I heard him speak French a couple of times.
Obviously there'd be times where Picard would say some French stuff.
If you meet somebody from France, they don't talk with a British accent. I'm sorry, they don't. I don't know why they didn't make him British. Just make him British. Call him,
well, maybe because Picard, even though he was French, maybe his accent was kind of a bit different.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying, I could have a point there.
Call him, I don't know. Call him. What's a good English name? Call him.
Bonsoir, Data.
I don't know. Call him John May or something, or John Taylor, or John.
No, but Jean-Luc Picard fits better.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
Okay, jumping back to Dune, so we have Patrick Stewart, we have Sting, and Kyle, what's his last name? I forget, because I think he was the hero of the film.
Yeah, he was, I saw him.
I forget his last name, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, he was a good actor. He was good. I never really saw him in much after that.
I did, I saw him in the Flintstones movie, he was the bad guy. Yeah, remember the one with John Goodman, Rick Moranis?
Yeah, he was a good actor, though. He
voiced the dad in Inside Out.
Yeah.
And he was good at that, too.
He had to do a scene in Dune where it was a very emotional scene he had to play.
Yeah.
And
I remember one line from him, even like, long live the fighters!
Yeah,
Like,
but
I remember seeing a clip of that.
But this was a very emotional scene.
In Dune?
And they showed a behind the scenes, like making of Dune. I watched it, and they showed him doing this scene. And he was so into it emotionally. When the director said cut, he just lost it. I mean, he was crying, and the director was like holding him, actually holding him, because he was just
getting so emotional.
He was emotional and crying, and the director was holding him, comforting him.
That was sweet of the director.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this guy was just really, serious method actor. He was just really into it.
Yeah, and good thing too, because whatever it was, I mean, I've not seen the film yet, but the scene, something was going on, obviously, and required for his character, to get emotional.
I mean, I can't, the scenes, the one scene I remember that I think is one of the more emotional scenes I've ever seen in a movie, and it's from Star Trek. It's the
which one?
It's the scene. It's Star Trek Into Darkness. It's when it's the scene where
yes, I know what you're talking about now.
It's the scene where
it have to do with Pike.
Captain Pike dies.
Well, yeah, Spock's right there as Pike dies,
and Kirk comes up.
Spock kind of like does a mind meld with him,
and Kirk comes up and sees, and the music playing, and that scene. And I'm telling you, I almost...
And the way Kirk gets emotional.
I mean, I get teary-eyed watching it even now, because Chris Pine is seriously crying. I mean, he is absolutely bawling his eyes out. And he has really gotten into that moment, realizing that Pike is dead, and he was like a father to him.
Yes, I was going to say, he was like a father to him. And yet, Pike's the reason, because he helped Kirk into Starfleet and become captain of the Enterprise. He
was not acting. I mean, he was bawling.
Yeah.
He was really bawling, and I thought, man, I have never seen a performance like that of any actor crying like that. I mean, it was just it was real. I mean, he was really bawling his eyes out, and that's what made it so gut-wrenching to watch.
Oh yeah,
because he was just like, and you could see, his fist was clenched, he was holding on to his shirt, and he was just like this.
Yeah, he had his head down.
Yeah, he had his head down, and he was just, and it just like you see him, when he realizes he's dead, he just loses it. I mean, it's just so, and he's trying to hold back, but he can't, and he's doing all this, that's really good acting. Really good acting.
Yeah, even for Kirk, so for young Kirk.
It was really gut-wrenching, but that was Pike was like a father to him. His father died saving 800 and some lives on the Kelvin.
Yeah, and Pike came to Kirk and just,
How do we go from talking about Dune to Star Trek? I don't know.
Well,
I guess Patrick Stewart.
Yes, we were, starting with Patrick Stewart.
Exactly.
But do you remember anything else from Dune? Was anything good, at least? Anything you can admit that were good?
The special effects were...
Well, that was one thing that was popping in my head, the visual effects, etc.
The visual effects from the 1984 movie, they were off the hook, man.
I think, to me, it's like some visual effects for the sci-fi films, whatever, the sci-fi films in the 80s, etc. were good.
Exactly.
Like, from the late 70s from the late 70s, you had Star Wars and Star Trek the Motion Picture, and from there on, the 80s, the rest of the sci-fi films, they had the visual effects, etc., from from the late 1970s and up to the 80s were good.
Yeah.
So having say model ships, everything else, and say like some of those companies, especially Industrial Lights Magic, what they had. So the visual effects and everything else they had at that time.
Yeah, and I and we'll see how this fares against the 1984 version. A lot of times remakes are a disaster, but I can't see how they could make this worse than. I can't say it was a bad movie. It was just not my cup of tea.
Did it do okay at least?
It did okay. It got mixed reviews. It
was one of those films that was mixed. Some like it, some didn't.
I'll put it this way: it wasn't a blockbuster. Okay,
it was an okay film, I guess.
It was an okay film. It had mixed reviews. It was the directing was good.
Yeah, who directed that? I forget.
You asked me too fast.
How did I ask you too fast?
Because I knew and I forgot.
All I said was, who directed it again? Just.
Okay, back to Google, and I will see who directed the 1984 film. But it was well done.
Yeah.
I will say
well,
that.
while you do that, I was just going to say, I suggest we give the 1984 version a watch before we see the remake. We've got plenty of time to do that, so. It doesn't come out until, like, literally around December, so. But anyways, yeah, we'll probably do that, guys. We'll give the 1984 version a watch, review on it, and until the remake. So I think we should do that. Are you up for it?
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. I'll keep you guys updated on that.
So here's the IMDb rather. It was directed by David Lynch.
I know him, yeah.
Yeah,
he even directed The Elephant Man.
Yeah.
I think it was one of his first big directing debuts or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, he's directed, so The Elephant Man, Dune, and a couple others.
Yeah, there was,
Ugh.
man, oh man. There was some really,
Yeah, Kyle, what's his name?
Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah.
MacLachlan.
McLaughlin?
Paul Atreides is what he played in the,
okay. Patrick Stewart being listed in there as well. There he is.
Yeah,
played-
Patrick Stewart played Gurney Halleck.
Okay.
Sting played Fade Rotha, and he was definitely a bad guy in that.
Yeah. It makes me feel maybe if Patrick Stewart was also playing a bad guy in there as well. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, this is the character. This is after he was killed in the scene. But this is what he looked like. See if you can get a close up of that. That's
they can tell. They can see.
Yeah, you can see his hair. His hair was just yellow, and just Sting's a good actor. I've seen him act in a couple of things. He's really a gifted actor.
Good at acting and also good singer.
Yeah, good, very very good singer. Very good singer.
Oh yeah, but anything else to say on the remake of Dune?
Nothing. I'll reserve judgment until I see it.
Me too.
The credits look interesting. The trailer looks interesting.
Yeah, it was
rather.
the credits.
The trailer looks interesting.
The footage and scenes.
Who directs this?
I'll have to check. We'll have to check.
I'll check it.
Yeah, you check. Might as well.
Might as well check.
I mean, it's got some pretty good people. The remake's got some pretty good people in this. Because from Oscar Isaac, Zendaya, Drax, Jason Momoa, what's her face? Rose the Hat from Dr. Sleep, and also been in the Mission Impossible films. A couple other people, I kind of forget now, but
Dennis Villanueva.
I'll have to check that because maybe I'd
he,
vaguely.
He French Canadian film director and writer.
Okay.
He's your mom's age. He's 3 years younger than me.
Okay. All right. So anything he directed Blade
Runner. Yeah.
Oh, so he directed
Arrival.
He directed. We saw that one.
Incendies, Cesario.
Wow.
Yeah, he did.
The last thing. Oh yeah.
Enemy. Prisoners.
Blade Runner, the sequel to Blade Runner, and The Arrival, they were 2 years apart from each other.
Polytechnic. Maelstrom. August 32nd. Cosmos. He did some pretty interesting stuff. Yeah.
Yep. And best known for, also we know two films he's directed mostly: the sequel to Blade Runner and the Arrival. Which the Arrival was good.
Right.
Yeah.
He was nominated for 1 Oscar.
Okay. Maybe had to do something with Blade Runner, I guess. I don't know. Even The Arrival was nominated for Oscars as well, so probably that too.
Yeah, he was Best Achievement in Directing.
So that probably was for The Arrival.
Yeah, Arrival came out in 2016. But,
and the next year, he directed the sequel to Blade Runner. So
right. But
yeah.
he's had several international awards too.
So maybe with him directing this, maybe the remake of Dune may not be too bad.
Yeah, it could be an interesting take on it.
Yeah.
We'll see. Like I said, I'll reserve judgment on it.
He had recently directed this Blade Runner 2049 and The Arrival, so he'll probably not too bad directing the Dune remake. So
agreed.
Yep. All right. So any last words or anything like that to say on the Dune remake?
No, just I'll be curious to see how it comes out, how it looks, if there's any different translation to film from the book than what they did in 1984.
Yeah, I keep forgetting it is based on a book. So the book of the same name, Dune.
Yeah, it was it's a weird sci-fi story. It really is. It's very different.
Yeah, an interesting take an interesting take of sci-fi. So
exactly. We'll see
an
if they
piece of sci-fi, however you put it. So.
We'll see if they hand out term sheets at this one, like they did the original.
Well, we'll find out.
I couldn't help but think and feel sorry for people who got there too late to get a term sheet. How lost they would have been, because I would think that would be a yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
All right. Well, anyway, so again. Interested to see how this turns out, the remake of Dune.
Very interested to see.
Same here. Hopefully, maybe, and because of the director they got for the director that this movie has, the remake has, may not be too bad.
Might not be.
So anyway, you heard our thoughts, etc., on the remake of Dune. You guys let us know what your thoughts are on it too, and if you've seen the 1984 version, we plan on watching it still, and we'll give our review on it still for that, as you said.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll do that, and definitely before we see the remake of Dune. So that said, we hope you guys enjoyed our reaction, and also, as always, we talk about our thoughts on the trailers and etc. and the movies of the trailers. The trailers to the movies, as to put it that. Any last words? You don't know, say off out.
Off out.
Little Blue says off out for me. We hope you guys enjoyed this reaction video. More new reaction videos coming your way. They're gonna be awesome. Keep looking forward, and we'll see you guys in the next video /reaction video. Take care and peace out.